I first learned about our next guest after watching a piece on NBC News, and I wanted as many people as possible to see their story. Take a look.
Hi, my name is Travis Mills, and I'm a retired United States Army Staff Sergeant from the 82nd Airborne Division. On April 10th in 2012, I was on my third tour of duty in Afghanistan. I was on a foot patrol, and I stepped on an IED. On my birthday, I woke up to find out that I was a quadruple amputee. I was at Walter Reed in Bethesda, Maryland. I was thankful that I knew I was working with the best team so I could be able to walk again, feed myself again, drive again, and live a really fulfilling life.
My name's David Vibora. I'm a former NFL player. In 2008, I was the last player picked in the NFL draft, crowning me Mr. Irrelevant. Became a starter for the Seattle Seahawks and blew out my shoulder at the age of 25. So I retired, moved to Dallas, started a gym, started training mostly athletes and wealthy clients, and it was working, business was great, but something inside was really missing.
I got invited to a birthday party, well-known guy in Dallas, and I was talking to the former trainer for the Dallas Cowboys, and I was mentioning that conventional gyms don't work for me, and he said, you know, there's a trainer here, and you should talk to him.
And in walks Travis Mills, quadruple amputee. I was amazed watching him move on his prosthetics.
And he walks over and he's like, hey man, what's up? I'm like, I need a trainer. He goes, I can train you.
And as I came up to him, I challenged him. I knew that I had to have a chance to work out with him.
My motto was always never give up, never quit. I had 25 good years in my arms and legs, and now I got the rest of my life to still keep living and pushing forward.
Please welcome David Vibora and Sergeant Travis Mills. First of all, before anything else, thank you for your service. Thank you for everything
Thank you so much. You know, I didn't do any more than anybody else. I just had a bad day at work, you know, in case of the Mondays. I was like, I should have called in today.
Yeah, you had a bad day at work. You sure did. So we saw in the piece, you wake up and on your birthday to find out what has happened to your body. And what was that time? What was that recovery like?
Oh, geez, I got hit, and then they knocked me out on the operating table. 4 days later, I wake up. First thing out of my mouth, my soldiers are my soldiers, and they told me. And then I was told I got to call my wife and my family. I was like, I'm not calling anybody. I'm pretty upset, embarrassed, angry. Don't know why this happened. Am I a bad person? And then I made it to Walter Reed. My wife, the first time she saw me, she had to sign a paper to cut my right leg off 2 inches higher because my sutures ripped open. And then I saw her the next day, and I said, look, Kelsey, you don't got to do this. You might as well take all the money we have in the account, the house, the cars, whatever, it's all yours, and go. And she was like, that's not how this works, you know what I mean? I'm in it for the handicap parking. And I was like, oh, okay, I get that. No, I'm kidding, my wife's amazing. And she was just like, I'm gonna be there for you, and we're gonna get through this. And I had, at the time, a 6-month-old. So the recovery started, and it was grueling. There were 6 months I couldn't look in a mirror at myself. I didn't want to. I went from 6'3", 250 to get it to, you know, 140 pounds. But I have a lot of brothers in arms that didn't make it back home. And they would give anything, and their families would give anything to talk to them again and see them again. Daughters would love to see their fathers and things like that. And I see my daughter all the time. She's my best friend. Matter of fact, my wife and I are having a boy. We have one on the way right now.
Congratulations.
Thank you, yeah. I'm not gonna be miserable for 50 more years of my life, or 60, how much I got left, so I might as well push forward. And I was able to, I walk, I take my daughter to school, my wife on dates, so life goes on. And
Amazing.
Thanks a lot to this guy right here who got me back in the gym and got me back on track.
Yeah. I know, you look like you're in good shape.
Great shape.
So, and you had a turning point in your life when you decided, because, you know, after you injured your shoulder and you couldn't play football, that must have been depressing for you.
Yeah, it's an identity crisis, sort of similar to these veterans that come home. You know, you can geographically return home but not be home, right? And I think so much of a warrior and athlete is wrapped in the physicality. So the gym is really all I knew, and I coped with not knowing who I was without football by stuffing my face full of pain medication. And it led to this nasty addiction. I spiraled down, and it led to a detox, and eventually I took a year off from football. I rehabilitated my mind, my body, and now with meeting Travis, everything changed.
So now you are working, you have a nonprofit, and you're working with vets. And what was that first day in the gym? What were you trying to do? What are you doing, and what can you do in the gym?
The first day at the gym, he was like,
him.
He was like, well, if you're afraid of falling, let's push the limit. So he put me he tried pushing me over a bunch. I was like, quit it, dude. And then he started throwing tennis balls at me on a balance board, and then he did all his research and all his homework, and then I came with knowledge from Walter Reed, and we just kind of worked and put me on a diet. I'll be honest, I was a little bit, like 20 pounds heavier than like a month and a half ago, but I've been dieting, so I'm going on Ellen, for one.
It looks good. It looks good,
You look good.
Ellen, he's the world's single best guinea pig, right? 82nd Airborne, so he jumped out of great perfectly good airplanes.
This is such an inspiring story, and I love the fact that it's changed your life. I love the fact that you have this resilience about you and a fantastic personality, I must say. And you remind all of us that when we have bad days, how dare us complain, because you are quite the guy. You really are. So here's what we're doing. Our friends at Walmart want to help you continue making a positive impact on your communities, so they're giving each of you a check for $10,000 for your foundation.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Walmart. That's amazing. Text 2